Do I need to keep training jiu-jitsu if I hate it? I mean, can I just live my life the way I think it should be, which is of health, energy, and becoming a force of nature as a doctor without dreaming up of some invisible enemies on the street that I've yet to come across in preparing and spending my pittance of a wage on lessons that I hate in every sorts of ways for something that might be avoided, physical clash, if I learned to use wit and saving my money to move into a good neighborhood, and I've been successful in preventing physical clashes to occur. I've learned basic ways to escape the mount. I can run. I'm fairly strong. Isn't that enough?
Okay, so yeah, bro. Jiu-jitsu is not the meaning of life. All right? Jiu-jitsu has a lot of, I find jiu-jitsu very enjoyable. I get a lot out of it beyond physical training, beyond self-defense.
Yeah.
I get a lot out of it, and I apply it in all different sorts of realms in my life. But if you hate it, and you've learned some basic ways to defend yourself, escape the mount, maybe some basic guards type stuff, then okay. Then step away. You shouldn't be going through life doing something that you hate. If I were you, I'd still train occasionally, even if it's just like once every 2 or 3 weeks, once a month, just to keep some of the ideas fresh. And also there's always the possibility that it'll click in your head and you'll realize there's like a magical thing that you could get out of the jiu-jitsu. And it's kind of like waking up at 4:30 in the morning. That's what time I wake up. And first of all, I'm genetically predisposed to sleep less than most people. And for instance, we just had daylight savings time end.
Yeah.
And I went to bed, so I set back my clock, and it was like 9:40 at night. Mm-hmm. So it went from 10:40 when I was going to bed, I set back my clock, and now it's 9:40.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, cool, I'll sleep extra hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what time I woke up? Like 2:48.
Yeah.
And then I laid in bed saying, no, sleep more. I couldn't do it, so I got out of bed at 3:30. But that's me, and that's just me. And it depends what your schedule is. It depends on what your genetic makeup is for sleep. And if you work the night shift, then obviously you're working at 4:30 in the morning, or you're getting off of work at 4:30 in the morning. So this just doesn't work. And I try and put that caveat on pretty much everything that I say, like my workouts, what I eat. Everyone's a little bit different, and I like what I like, and I do what I do, and it works for me. And you can try it. And if you come up with something that's better, I'll listen to you. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with jiu-jitsu, man. If you hate it, then, maybe it's not for you. And would I truly think, my true thought, is it beneficial for you? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Should you stop doing everything that you don't like just because you don't like it? No. There's some things that you should press on. Should everyone have a fundamental level of knowledge of jiu-jitsu? It's very, very beneficial.
Yeah.
But if you hate it and you've kind of come to that conclusion, then don't do it. Yeah. And I think also, once you give yourself that out, once you give yourself the out, and you're not forcing yourself to do it anymore, it might open up your mind to actually enjoy it and try it and not be miserable about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I was like, they're probably, and I don't know, easily, some people don't like it. Straight up, I got to accept that. I know. But that being said, there is a possibility that the environment that this person or that people train in sometimes will make you not like it. And it's not necessarily the jiu-jitsu you don't like. Sure, not it wound up that way. You don't like jiu-jitsu anymore because you were kind of, pushed in the wrong direction as far as like what you like and don't like.
So you could try a different school.
Try a different school.
Yeah, like I said earlier today, some schools are really strict and rigid, and maybe that would be better for you. Some schools are real wild and there's no control. Maybe that would be a better school depending on what your personality is. Some people like that regimented environment. Yeah, you could definitely try a different school. But again, I think the mental hurdle to come over is you've told yourself that you have to do it, and now tell yourself you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
But and you say try a different school. it's the environment that you train in. So the school's part of the environment for sure. But it's like training partners. It's like which can wind up as the pressure you put on yourself. It's like everything, the whole environment. So I know that, and people are different. Some people, they want that pressure. They want people yelling. Like, remember I used to tell you, like, when you start coaching either me, just in training, how like you'll get fired up when you see two people training or whatever, and you'll be like, do this, and you'll start coaching. It's almost like you're, like, as a friend, you're doing it, like, just for fun, and you're like, okay, do this, and you usually coach up the other guy when I'm rolling with him. And that other guy, he's getting coached by Jocko, so he turns up the heat. And bro, I don't like that because it's like a thing.
I know you don't.
I don't like that at all, bro. But some people do like that. Yeah. Some people that gets them fired up, it gets them more in the game. Right. So I'm saying people are different. So the possibility is that this guy happens to be in the wrong environment for jiu-jitsu.
For jiu-jitsu for him.
For himself, yes, exactly.
That is a possibility.
And just like you said, he could very well be putting that pressure on himself, like, you have to go. And everyone's saying how great it is, and it's the best thing. And if you don't show up to practice, you're whack and you're lame, or get on the back on the,
Like, if you get told all the time it's the best thing in the world, and then you show up there and you get beat up, which is what happens.
Yeah.
And now you're like, how does everyone like this?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel good to me. Yeah. And you just go in a negative mindset right away.
Yeah.
So you should be careful of that.
And that's not to mention when you even imply that you don't necessarily like it. Oh, yeah, because you suck. Oh, yeah, because you're this, or you're weak, or you're whatever. You're a slacker. Like, basically all this negativity, is going to turn you off even more. So now, you hate it now.
Yeah, which there's the reality of it is some things don't agree with some people, right? That's a reality. Like, there's some things in the world that I just don't like them. Like when we were driving to LA, you were playing some music.
Yeah,
some of the music that you're playing is popular music.
Yeah,
I just don't like it. I just don't like it. And there's other things like that in the world. I'm trying to think of things that I just like, other people like them, and I just don't like them. I just don't.
Pokemon Go, that's one thing.
Yeah,
I don't really like.
I mean, I've never even thought about Pokemon Go. It seems like a cool idea. You look for things on your phone. I mean, that's not the type of thing that I'm talking about. I guess
dancing at the club.
No, I mean, I don't care about. I'm trying to think of something that's. I guess music is one of the best examples. For me, is hey, this certain types of music, certain artists, like Leif. Leif likes hair metal from the 90s.
Yeah.
He legit likes it, right?
Yeah.
And I like legit do not like it. And the reason that's a good example is because that's not far off from kind of the music that I do like. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Led Zeppelin. I mean, I love Led Zeppelin, right? Yeah. Led Zeppelin's awesome. And the step from Led Zeppelin to Poison, I mean, they could be in the same record category in the store, right?
Sure.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, I love.
Yeah.
Poison kind of turns my stomach. I hate it. And so that's an example of some things, they just don't sit well with you.
Yeah.
And maybe jiu-jitsu doesn't sit well with this guy. Now, like I said, I think there's a lot of benefits to it. I think you get a lot out of it. Try a different environment. But if you hate it, don't force yourself to do it. Open the escape, right? Give yourself an out, and that allows you to feel more comfortable. Because when you feel trapped, everyone feels like a cornered animal. And now you're just pissed off.
Yeah.
If you've been like, hey, these guys, I hear everyone talking about jiu-jitsu, so I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And now your first day, you don't like it.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I'm going to keep doing it because everyone's saying it's great. And you just end up in a bad way.
Yeah.
So be careful with that one.
Yeah, you're kind of trapped with the junk parts of it.
Yeah.
That kind of came about, and you can't really escape it. Then you're like rebel against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we were driving up to LA? I was playing "Carry" by Europe. That is actually technically an '80s hair metal.
Yeah,
band,
that's an '80s. Yeah, for sure.
But you were really mad.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, that music doesn't sit well with me for some reason.
You got little bit even more.
Going back to Leif, like Leif likes Metallica, Leif likes Black Sabbath, Leif likes Tool. He likes rocking bands too.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's some genetic code in his head that Poison's cool.
Yeah, just lets it right in, huh?
Dang. Mine gets the and hole.
Yeah.
But then I guess on the other end of the spectrum, we get into music that Leif and like Leif likes Pantera. Pantera's a hard band. Now I go one step further than Pantera, right?
Sure,
in some of the music that I listen to, which I think leaves Leif a little bit where he wouldn't listen to some of the harder music that I listen to. But Pantera's, brushing up against it.
Hey, do you listen to soft music? Come on, bro.
What do you consider soft music?
Some I don't know, something about love songs. I don't know, so something soft. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say White Buffalo. White Buffalo is hard acoustic music, but he's got some pretty mellow songs. He's got a song called Love Song Number 1.
What's it about though? Like, is it like romantic? Is he talking about his love,
I would
that
say
he loves
yes.
a girl or something like that?
I would say yes.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't count because how like.
Well, how can that not count?
I don't know, because how like Metallica, for example, they have Unforgiven, right? So it sounds softer, but they're still talking about hard stuff.
Okay.
And then they have like Enter Sandman, which is like
okay. Well, then I guess I'm just not. No, my answer to you is no.
Like, do you like?
Wait, what about
stuff
Led Zeppelin?
Well, see, you're still talking about like these aren't soft things. Like okay. So I was playing Al Jarreau. Remember Al Jarreau? And you were like, "What the fuck is this?" And you were pissed. You were mad at me personally. Like you were, and you were like, "Who is this?" And no. You know what though? Actually, I played another song. Who was it? It was like Josh Radin or something. And you were like, hey, this is pretty good. I was very surprised. It was a soft song. Remember?
Okay.
Do you remember?
My musical tastes are varied.
Yeah,
I like different types of music.
Yeah, so I guess
but
sometimes...
there's some types of music that I don't like.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder with you, like, if you're the kind... how some people, they just... I like music. I'm not saying me, I'm just saying certain people, they are into just a specific type of music. That's it. That's the whole reason for music in their head, is like this very specific feeling. Like some people that I know before, they only like house music. They only like anything other than house music is like, it's just, they'll rather listen to nothing. So I was wondering if you're like kind of that kind.
No, because I listen
like,
to all different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Well, at least.
Just not, maybe not all different kinds.
No. Okay, you're right. I listen to a wide range of music.
Various types. Sure. There you go. Not Al Jarreau, though.
I forget the song, but maybe we can refer back to it later.
Some other time. Cool. All right. Next question. How about that?
That sounds like a really good plan.
Dang, I kind of feel bad for the guy who hates jiu-jitsu. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but it's not that rare.
Yeah, it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
And I was actually talking with Dave Camarillo.
Sure. I know who that is. I don't know him personally.
Well, I was up with him up in San Francisco area yesterday, and we were talking about how some people don't like jiu-jitsu. I mean, and you'd think even people that you would think would like jiu-jitsu, people that have jobs that jiu-jitsu would be really beneficial for them to know.
Yeah.
They don't like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I've introduced a lot of people to jiu-jitsu. A lot of people to jiu-jitsu. Not many of them have actually stuck with it for a long period of time.
Yeah, but
and so it's not that rare for people to not like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and I dig it. It's like not sticking with it, because jiu-jitsu takes work. It's not like this easy thing that provides just a bunch of massages.
You're saying there's a difference between not liking jiu-jitsu and not actually sticking with it?
Yes. So this guy's straight up, I hate it.
That's
something.
That's a little bit more powerful of a statement. Yeah.
It's like
he definitely doesn't like
people who don't stick with it for the most part. This is just a total guess on my part.
Yeah, lazy and lack discipline.
Yeah, like they don't like it enough on a kind of moment to moment basis to get off the couch and go. That's kind of it.
Check.
It's one of those situations. Next question.